Hello and welcome to Produced By. Just quickly before we begin, if you enjoy the show, please consider supporting it by joining our Patreon. You can choose from a list of memberships and will receive some exciting rewards. Thank you, and back to the episode. So, hello Wendy, thank you for joining us today and welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
So, Wendy, can you please introduce yourself?
I am Wendy Gannon. Most people call me Woo. I haven't actually told anyone why yet. Maybe I'll do a podcast on it.
That was my next question.
I was there. Okay, well, I'll tell you in a minute. So I own Woo Photography and I do personal brand photos. I did start in music and I still do some events. So I was working events all over the weekend. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, so I was really curious. Why Woo? Do you want to tell us?
Why Woo? Yeah, okay. So when I was little, so like 3 or 4 years old, my friend, I used to live at number 32. And my friend's mum used to say, "Here comes Wendy Woo from 32. That's literally it.
Okay.
Literally, everyone thinks there's this massive story behind it. No, that's what it is.
Okay. I don't know. I wasn't probably expecting anything, but I would be curious anyway, so I'm glad that I know.
I did a post on LinkedIn the other day about it, and
okay.
everyone was guessing, and some of the things they were coming up with were really bizarre. So when they hear this, they're going to be really disappointed.
Okay. So, Wendy, I always like to start with the background. So, can you tell us where do we come from and maybe something about your childhood?
So, my childhood, I felt like I was like the lonely outsider when actually I was completely the opposite. That's because recently I've really discovered that I've got ADHD. Had I known that back then, life would have been a lot different. But yeah, I thought that I was, I didn't have any friends or nobody liked me when actually I did and they did. So if you're thinking that, anybody out there, stop it. You're great. But yeah, so I've been doing photography for about 20 years. I'm self-taught. There was a website called don'tstayin.com when I was in my early 20s that you go out and take photos of people at nightclubs and raves and stuff like that, and then you put them on the website, and then those people who were there would spot themselves. It wasn't tagging, it was spotting themselves in a photo. And it grew from there, really. I wanted to get a professional camera, well, a DSLR, and my family bought me one, all clubbed in together for Christmas and birthday and Christmas, so that I could have one. And there was a status on the website called Pro Spotter, and I managed to get that badge within 3 months, which was the fastest. So I was like, oh, I'm going to keep doing it.
Talented.
Yeah, I'm one of those jack of all trades, right? And yeah, so I did that as just a side hustle, really, for 18 and a half years. And while I was doing recruitment as my main job. And I started my own recruitment company during COVID in 2020. And that's when I went onto LinkedIn and started growing my personal brand and meeting all of the amazing people on there. One day, so what year are we in? So it was 2022, December 22. I put one of my photos on a LinkedIn post that I did, and everyone was like, "Why are you not doing this for a living?" And I didn't think I was good enough, didn't have the confidence, still get that a little bit sometimes. But it's thanks to LinkedIn that I've gone full time as a professional photographer.
I was going to say that, as you said that you've been doing it for 18 years as a hobby, it sounds like a long time to become a professional.
Right. I do things back to front quite often in life.
I guess you're just underestimating yourself.
I know, I'm brilliant. Definitely got a style that nobody else has got. And I think the way that my chaotic brain works, it helps with coming up with ideas, you know.
And before we move on, can I just come back to, you mentioned that you discovered fairly recently about ADHD. So how come you didn't know before, or did you do like some kind of diagnosis lately, or
No, I'm still waiting for my diagnosis. It's been 1.5 years waiting so far. No, so when I was younger, ADHD was just for boys. So they didn't think it was for girls.
Oh, really?
And it's yeah,
I
it's
probably
only,
don't know much about this topic, but it surprises
yeah, didn't think it was only recently actually that they realised that women and girls can get ADHD as well.
me.
So it makes you very forget what you're going to say, so bear with me. Yeah, so it was actually just watching TikToks and things, and people would send me things going, "Oh my God, this is you." And I'd be like, oh yeah, it actually is. And so that was about, 2 years ago. I know I tell people that I've got ADHD, and they're like, "Yeah, didn't you know?" I'm like, no, I didn't know. So yeah, it's frustrating. You got like a grief period, right? So I've done the excited bit. Well, kind of excited, like oh my God, this is happening. And then there's the sad bit. I'm kind of getting over the angry bit now, where I understand, like that. Like, I was angry because why did nobody tell me? Why did nobody notice?
Yeah.
Why am I still waiting for a diagnosis and medication? Because it would really help me.
And also, sorry to interrupt, but
That's all right.
I want to ask you, are you comfortable discussing this? Because if not,
I am
we don't.
literally comfortable discussing anything.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Another ADHD trait. Thank you for sharing. Literally anything, I don't care. Yeah, I am an open book.
Because I'm really curious. I don't know much about this topic. So if you don't mind, you can tell us more about it. So apologies for interruption, but you can continue
go for
about
it.
the negative part.
Yeah, so it explains a lot about my life, and it explains decisions I've made, mistakes that I've made. It explains so many things. Also, had I known that I had it, I wouldn't have done certain things, and I wouldn't have been put in certain situations. There's like, my brain is just always on. It's just so chaotic, and I'm very loud, and I talk a lot, and I'm like the life and soul of the party, and had loads of trauma. But I'm hilarious because trauma makes us funny. And so thank you for the trauma. Yeah, it's really difficult with work. Like my recruitment business, I struggled to find motivation. My mental health was up and down quite a lot. But with my photography, like, I love it so much. It makes me so happy. And because my work is more than just taking photos of people, which I'll talk about in a bit, it just, like, it makes my heart happy. Honestly, I get so much from it. And I think it's the only thing that I've stuck at. Like with ADHD, you'll get a hobby and then never do it again. You'll
Jump to something else, right?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, exactly.
And it might sound like a silly question, but what about your parents when you were younger? They didn't think that you may have it, or didn't
Nope, as I
notice?
said, it was only recently that they even thought that girls could have it. Even when my daughter was younger, she's definitely got it, and autism. It was not looked at. Nobody thought it was a thing. So yeah, my poor parents.
No, that's not what I meant.
Sorry, mum and dad.
And also with the diagnosis that you said that you are still waiting for it, why does it take so long?
Because they've only just found out that women can get it, and more women are realising that they do have it, then there's like super long waiting lists, and it depends where you are in the country. you can either go private or through the NHS. If you go private, it's a lot quicker, but then you can't get your medication on the NHS. You have to pay for private for your medication. It's called right to choose. I don't really understand it. Anyway, there's if you wait for the NHS psychiatrist, I think you have to go through. It depends where you live. So I've been on the waiting list for 18 months. And
that's a long time.
Yeah, somebody on LinkedIn the other day had theirs within like 3 months, which is brilliant for them. But it pissed me off. Like, yeah.
So do you know if you're still going to continue waiting for another, I don't know how many months, or if it's coming soon?
I will wait. They say around here it's about 2 years, so I'm hoping that it's really soon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I hope so. But then I spoke to somebody the other day who's been waiting 8 years. Now they need to go and have a chat with their GP, I think.
What? 8 years?
8 years. I mean, there's always extremes of some things, right? But yeah, that's a lot.
And now, as you, it's been a while since you own it, since you know that you have it. Did you, like, I don't know, learn how to cope with it, how to?
Over the years, I learned to mask it, right, so that I'd fit in with people in society and work and life. But as soon as I realised that I had it, like, the masks start to fall away, and there's nothing that I can do to stop it. So it feels like I said to somebody before, you know, on Raiders of the Lost Ark, right at the end when they open the Ark, and then you see a little bit of light glistening out, and then it opens a little bit more, and then all of the spirits just fly out. That is what my brain feels like.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
I like the comparison.
That's all I can think of. That it's like, yeah, it's. I mean, I wouldn't be any other way, and I'm actually grateful that there is like a reason. I mean, not why I'm like this, because I'm actually great, but do you know what I mean? There's an explanation for things. I'm not just fucked up. Sorry, I'm
no. Yeah.
I'm not just screwed. I'm not just weird. I'm not just, yeah.
And for some people who are perhaps struggling with this, or they may think that they may have it as well, can you share some kind of advice or, tips on how to deal with it?
Yeah, there's right. I've got a few tips for people who know they have it and people that think they might have it. Like, there's so many things on social media that can help you, but just go to your GP. There is a test that you can download or that they will give you where you can, like, are you like this? Give it a 1 to 5. Do you know what I mean? Does this happen? Give it a 1 to 5. That you can do that, and then you calculate, like, if your brain works that way. But that doesn't always work if you are masking. So, for example, I've masked so well at going into groups of people and crowds of people because of my photography. I have my camera to hide behind. I don't have panic attacks or anything like that. But if I didn't have my camera, then I probably would. So you have to think about what you've put in place to help you cope and get through these challenges that you've got.
Yeah.
So have a chat with your GP. Have a chat with me. Like, if you're listening to this and you don't know where to go, like, message me. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. The other thing I want to say on the topic is, if you have ADHD, the government have got a scheme called Access to Work. Now, it's really easy to apply for. Go onto the government website, put in Access to Work, and there's a short questionnaire, which is really easy to do. And then it helps you with your work. So if you're working for yourself, I'll tell you what it did for me. So I worked out, me and someone else worked out that I was doing 85 hours a week work.
Oh my God.
It was a lot. I was burnt out at the end of last year. It was a lot. And the 25 and a half hours of that could be taken away from me and done by somebody else. Like my socials, my marketing, my account, like loads of different things that I didn't specifically have to do. Like, I've got to go and take the photos, and I'm like edit a certain way, so I've got to do that. So Access to Work gave me a pot of money to get somebody to do those 25.5 hours for me. And they gave me software to help me. They've given me CRM. Like if you've got any disability or long-term illness or limiting illness or something like that, then you can get stuff to help you to work.
Yeah.
Whether you work for yourself or whether you're in a company. So it's definitely worth applying for. You can get like standing desks, you can get chairs, you can get lots of things. So if it's physical or mental or neuro or whatever. Yeah.
So take advantage of this support. Yeah. And then from your perspective, are there like any things that people do and especially make you upset or angry? For example, something that, you know, just annoys you and wouldn't annoy you otherwise, if you know what I mean. Just to know to kind of avoid it or not to do that.
Not much annoys me. I'm pretty laid back, but when someone says they're going to do something and they don't do it, that
that annoys me as well.
Like if I haven't got a partner at the moment, but if you've got a partner and they say they're going out and they say they're going to be back at a certain time, I'd rather you just didn't say a time. Just don't tell me when you're going to be back. I don't care when you come home. But if you say you're going to be home at 10 o'clock, be home at 10 o'clock, because otherwise I'm going to be like stressing out. Or if you book a call with somebody, go to that call. Don't leave me waiting. It's really annoying.
No, of course it makes sense. Yeah, I can only agree.
Yeah, I think that's all. Because I do a lot of things that I'm sure will annoy people and I don't do it on purpose. So I think I've got to be pretty lenient with other people.
No, yeah, it's all right. So before we move on from this topic, is there something else that you would like to share about this or some kind of message related to this?
I will say that it does seem that people who are neurospicy, as a lot of people call it, do tend to flock together. So you find your own kind of weird. Like the weird attracts the weird, right? So I have got the best, funniest, weirdest, most beautiful friends. And if you are yourself, which you really do need to be yourself, because you're brilliant, don't pretend to be anybody else and don't hide behind anything. You will find people just like you that love you and support you.
Yeah, I think it's great advice. And I think it can be applied to everyone, just not to pretend to be someone else. So it's a good one. So coming back to your career or your background, were you then a kind of creative child when you were young?
Yeah, so we're a creative family, actually. So my mum has got, she's always done like art. She did like garden design. She did loads of things, and we were always cross-stitching and doing art as kids. But my mum's now got like a mixed media shop, a gallery. She teaches workshops and does loads of crafty and arty stuff. My daughter has just graduated from London College of Fashion. So she's a knitwear designer. She's obsessed with knitting. So yeah, and I did always want to do photography.
It's then surprising that you haven't started earlier.
I know, it's weird. I got a boyfriend, that's what it was.
And why, in the first place, you started with recruiting? Was that something that you enjoyed before?
I actually fell into it, like most people fall into recruitment. I was out of work. I was working for a charity, and they lost some funding, so I lost my job. And I was looking for a job for like 3 months, and I went into a recruiter's to see if they could give me some work, and they hired me as their administrator. And then I worked my way up from administrator to recruiter to senior recruiter to billing manager. And then I was managing the area. So I loved it. And then I moved from that one to another one. and I had a really toxic boss.
Mm.
Grr. Be nice to people. And
Yeah.
then and then I started my own company. So yeah, it was, everything happens for a reason, definitely. So I loved working in recruitment. All of that recruitment stuff gave me the opportunity to start my business in recruitment, which taught me how to run a business for my photography.
Yeah, that's very smart. Skills and
Yeah.
experience that you can use later on. And when you started your own business, how did you feel like? Because sometimes it can be quite scary to start in your own business. So did you feel scared or excited?
So I had just got out of burnout. So just before COVID, I was not in a good way. I went up to like 20 stone. I was in bed for 3 months. Couldn't move really. I couldn't stand up for more than 5 minutes without hurting. And I got myself out of that with some help. And then I was like, I can do this. It was a little bit scary, but it was mostly exciting. And I started using LinkedIn by that point, and everybody was really, really bloody lovely and supportive and helped me. The LinkedIn community is like no other, honestly. And yeah, so there's loads of support and loads of help. And actually, because it was COVID and loads of people were furloughed, I got loads of work. I was like that registered in 6 months. So
It's like a perfect timing.
perfect timing. But then when furlough stopped, everybody came back and I had no work. So that's why I'm saying like it was a roller coaster. Yeah, no, it wasn't too scary. Like I said back then that we never ask for help, and I had been making friends for 40 years. For that moment in my life when I could just ask everybody that I was made friends with, and I make friends like every day, helped me. So I've got a friend in IT, a friend who's an accountant, a friend who does marketing, like everybody rallied around and helped me, because you need to ask for help if you actually want help.
Yeah,
So
don't be afraid to ask.
yeah, so I'm really lucky and really grateful for like the people that I've got around me.
I was going to say you must have had a great network.
Great network.
After those years and working in recruiting.
Yeah, and I tend to have like loads of different little friend groups. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone I've lived in different places. So I've got like a friend group in Basingstoke. I've got a friend group in Basildon. I've got a friend group here. I started a dog walking group accidentally over
What
the
is it?
park.
Walking.
A dog walking
Oh,
group.
dog walking. Okay.
Every time I met somebody with a dog, I was like, I'll be here at 8 o'clock every weekday. Now there's like 10 of us every morning. There's loads of dogs running around.
Wow.
Brilliant. So yeah.
I mean, you never know when you might need them.
Exactly. And they're my friends now.
And before you mentioned you started with LinkedIn. Why actually? And why this specific platform?
So I don't know.
I mean, you could have been on, I don't know, Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or
I
something
think
else.
because of the recruitment link, LinkedIn have got really good like recruitment software. So it was easier for me to grow my audience there. And then that's when personal branding buzzword came in,
Yeah.
where people said you need to be yourself and attract people like you, which is what I say now. And it's true. And there's so like really amazing audience, if you like, community, that's the word. I've got an amazing community on there, and like I will happily help anybody if I can, and if I can do anything to make someone's day better, then I'll do it. So I've attracted people like that, which is great, because they will make your day better.
Yeah, of course. That's a good idea.
And LinkedIn's really, it still is probably the easiest platform to grow and get business on. But back then it was a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I think I missed the beginning where it was like zoom up. Either that or I just wasn't doing it right. And then I I just like to post authentic, genuine stuff. Whereas I know, like on Instagram, you get those accounts that are like, this is how I grew my Instagram to 5,000, 500,000.
Yeah.
You grew it by saying that's how you grew your account to 500,000. So yeah, I do, and I do like to make people laugh. I do like to push the boundaries, and I do like to be inappropriate. And I've been banned like 10 times now on LinkedIn.
Really, on LinkedIn? Oh my God! What? Can you tell more? What did you do specifically?
Right. So they get ready. This is a story. So, like, I'm a little bit peed off with them, to be honest with you. They've banned me for things that I don't think I should have been banned for. They've banned me for things and then unbanned me when I like, what's the word? Defended myself when I argued the point, and they unbanned me. They were like, "Yeah, all right then." And then, so that's happened quite a few times.
Sorry. So in the end, do you feel like that you still had a point, or maybe you went a bit too much?
I mean, there's been times when I've gone too far, 100%, and I'm not going to say that I haven't, because that's just what I do, right? You've got to push the boundary. I put a photo up of one of my friends in her underwear, leaning over my dining table with a mannequin behind her, reading a book that's called I Love Dick. But so I got banned for a month for that, right? Ooh. But they said that was my final ban, permanently banned, that I'm not allowed back on there. So I was arguing the point that this is I'm empowering women to do whatever they want. She's a photograph of a woman being empowered, reading a cult feminist classic book about a man called Richard, which is literally what that photo is. If they're filthy and they want to take it a different way. Anyway, so I messaged them saying, look, you've banned me for this, yet when I complain about men harassing women, when some guy on a post has literally admitted that he's harassing this woman, you do nothing about that. And people send dick pics on LinkedIn, and when I report that, you say there's nothing wrong with it. Yet you're banning me for empowering women. What's your problem? And they went, congratulations, you've got your account back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so after that, they banned me again. And I'm like, well, why have you banned me?
What this time?
What even was it? I said something really nice to somebody, but my wording, they said, was harassment. I was like, read that comment. It actually says you're wonderful. And they were like, well, we've been here before, haven't we, Wendy? And I was like, they said, you've had so many bans. I'm like, can you tell me why I have been banned each of those times? And they're like, no. I'm like, I need to know why I've been banned so I don't do it again. They're like, we're not going to tell you. Why? Because you've got no idea. I'm really annoyed about it. Sorry.
But I feel like that what you said, it's kind of good way to promote yourself, that if people want to have fun, I think they should definitely get in touch with you and connect.
It works. Like, so now I can't swear on there. If I say a swear word on there, I get banned. Whereas there's people effing and seeing all over the place, which is brilliant for them. I love swearing. So I have to make up some really, really funny ways of saying things, which actually is a lot more fun and gets a lot more engagement than just swearing. But it does seem like they're telling you to be yourself and connect and stuff, but don't be yourself too much. Don't be too much fun.
I guess they can see like the history of the bands, so I guess you should be careful so that it doesn't happen again.
Right, so one of them was because I had the camera emoji in my name, and now they allow that, so that shouldn't be included.
Sorry, you have it now, or you don't? I thought you had.
It's allowed now. It's allowed now, so that shouldn't be included. One was for having my name as WO.
Sorry, and what's the problem with that?
I don't know. One of them was for having WO0, in my nickname. I didn't have it as my name, it's my nickname, which is my nickname. And I was like, this is my business name, it's my nickname, you can see here. And they were like, all right, that's fine. So that should be included. So like, if you take out all the times when they've gone, actually, you're right, I think I've only been banned twice.
Yeah.
So,
you know, it's a little side note, but it reminds me, if you know Elon Musk and his child, that has name with, I think, number 3.
yeah.
So what's the child going to be called on the platform if the child cannot use numbers?
Exactly. Imagine being called an algorithm, though.
Yeah. But I was about to say that I actually like it when there are people on the platform that they don't take themselves that seriously, because although LinkedIn is a professional platform and like mainly for recruiters and try to show yourself in a formal and professional way, I still like when people, for example, use memes or make fun of it and just don't take themselves as seriously.
100%. How boring would life be if everybody was like in a suit all the time and God. Like you buy from product like innocence movies, you buy from adverts that are funny and like
Yeah, just need to stand out.
it really annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's nothing wrong with me. Why are you like saying that I shouldn't be like this? This is just who I am. I'm not trying to be trouble.
Yeah, of course.
Most of the time.
If you want to boost your online presence, check out our digital marketing agency called Trailblazed. You can also enroll in our Skillshare course called The 10 Tips on How to Succeed in Your Creative Career, which was inspired by the podcast. Lastly, make sure to subscribe to our weekly newsletter called Creative Spotlight to stay up to date with the show and more. Links are in the show notes. Thanks.
Also, I wanted to talk a bit more about you working in recruitment, because you probably have, you definitely have a lot of knowledge when it comes to people applying, looking for jobs and, interviews and stuff like this. So can you share some advice, tips, what people do, what they do frequently?
Things have definitely changed. It's been like 18 months since I was in recruitment. I'm not like I still am friends with recruiters. Like Thomas Woodhams. Go and look at him, he's fun. So I think the thing that you just need to do, I think it's got a lot worse these days, so it's harder. It's even harder. And I used to do career coaching and LinkedIn coaching. Don't give up. And if somebody doesn't reply to you, it's not your fault. It's just because they're a dick, right? People just ghost all the time now. It's a thing. You could apply for 100 jobs and hear back from one, and that one says no, thank you. That's not on you. That's on them. It's just really horrible out there at the moment. But one thing you can do is make sure your LinkedIn is superb, and start using LinkedIn with your personal brand to get like your audience and get seen, and then have conversations with the people that you want to work with. So yeah, that's what I do. I'd make sure my LinkedIn the tagline was spot on. A photograph, come to me. I'll take a photograph. Your banner, because your banner is the first thing that people look at. Your tagline's important because the first however many characters on your tagline also show when you comment. So make sure that stands out and says exactly what you do. Not many people read the about section, but I suppose if you are looking for a job, a recruiter would do. So make sure you've got lots of keywords in there. So as a recruiter, you've got something called LinkedIn Recruiter is a platform, and you can use keywords to search for people. So you need to make sure that those keywords are in your about section, they are in your job section, all over, because the more those keywords come up, the higher you're going to be up the list and the more chance you're going to get of getting a call from a recruiter.
That is new to me. I didn't know this.
Yeah. I'm a font of knowledge. Also, you put yourself as open to opportunities on there. You don't have to show everybody. You can just be open to recruiters.
And would you recommend to use the green line in your profile photo, open to work?
I mean, it depends. it never stopped me from messaging anybody. Because I think if somebody doesn't message you because you've got a green thing on your photo, then they're not the kind of people that you want to work with anyway. If you're out of work or you've been made redundant or something like that, I think, yeah, why not? Obviously don't do that if you're in a job and they don't know that you're looking. Look, it's 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. I've seen some people say that I'm not going to recruit you if you've got a green thing, and I just don't understand. Why wouldn't you recruit somebody? Just recruit the right person for the job.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got the skills, and don't ever tell anyone your salary. Don't ever tell anyone what you were on before, especially women. It should be illegal. Joe Phillips has started a petition about it. In America, it's now illegal in most states to ask what the previous salary was. It's got no regard. It's got nothing to do with what you're applying for. The job you're applying for should have a minimum and maximum salary banding, and you should be somewhere in there with the skills that you've got.
Yep.
The end. Doesn't matter how much you were on before. So yeah, don't tell anybody what your previous salary or current salary is.
Or yeah. And when it comes to job applications and someone sends CV and cover letter, how often does a recruiter actually go to LinkedIn? Or does it depend, or someone doesn't check it at all, or people do check it a lot?
So I would check mine every day. And it's more... So look, applications, I didn't really put job ads up. I would more headhunt people. And applications are really not inclusive. They kind of... If you've got, you shouldn't put bullet points on a job ad, because that stops women from applying, because women will statistically apply for a job that they can do 9 out of 10 of the bullet points, whereas a man will apply if he can do 2 of them or something like that. So don't put bullet points at all. Right? Go for it. Don't put bullet points at all and just explain things. Then you're more likely to get women to apply. Also, don't use certain words like rockstar as masculine and feminine wording. And there's a website where you can check whether your word is masculine or feminine. And also where you're putting your stuff, right? If you're just getting middle-aged white people applying for your job, then you need to apply put your job out to different places and go to different communities and find people who are actually really good at what they do, don't look like the same as everybody, as the people in that company. Yeah.
No, I just thought because it's always challenging when you are looking for a new job.
Yeah.
Stressful period of time and hard to face the rejections. So I thought with your experience, it would be good at least to briefly discuss this stuff.
Yeah, it's really hard. And actually, I've still got a CV template from when I had Quirk. So if anybody wants my CV template, then I'll send that over to you. Just come and find me on LinkedIn, drop me a message or whatever, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I will share the link so that people can reach out.
Lovely. Yeah.
And now I think we can discuss actually your creative kind of career. So how did you find the beginnings when you made a switch from recruiting to working as photographer? For example, looking for the clients.
Right, so it blew my mind. Honestly, I thought I was going to struggle. It's been so wonderful. So I was like, right, I'm going to try this. I am going to do 10 photo shoots, because I used to charge £200 for a photo shoot for a day, right? I'm ridiculous. 10 photo shoots for £350, and once they're gone, they're gone. They went in like a day, right? And then, but it was great because I wasn't as good back then, so I'm happy I chose that. And then I did some skill swaps, which I love doing. So I did some photos for somebody who gave me some training. I did some photos for somebody who gave me some marketing advice. Do you know what I mean? I like doing things like that because I didn't know what I was doing and they get something out of it.
Yeah,
Plus my
this
work
smart.
gets out there. Yeah. So we did that, and then I learned how to do things. Like I was putting 5 photos on a post so people could look through the different photos that I've done. No, just one. You only need one, Wendy. And then how to post and when to post and what to post. And then like I started my actual offers. I had some coaching, and then my prices went up, and I was doing a full day last year for £1,500 and a half day for £800. And I was so busy
You had
that
to start refusing working with people because you had too much.
yeah, basically. I was like, as I said earlier, I was knackered at the end of last year because I was going up and down the country because I'll go anywhere. I like meeting people and I like going to different places. So I was like Manchester, Barnsley, Leeds, like Norwich, like all over the place. And so I was really knackered. I was ill, so I took 2 weeks off before Christmas and 2 weeks off over Christmas. I was like, I can't keep going like this. I'm going to double my prices so that less people book. So I told everybody that I was doubling my prices and it went mad. And then I doubled my prices and it's not calmed down. So it's got busier.
You should have tripled.
You get a lot for that money. It's not just a photo shoot. So I do a lot of confidence coaching. We do a lot pre-shoot. So we worked out that one full day shoot where you get 50 photos is 35 and a half hours work for me.
Yeah.
With
that people don't see all the stuff in the background.
Yeah, exactly. And the transformations that my clients are getting is ridiculous. Like, so somebody bought a £1,500 photo shoot and within 3 months they've made 25 grand. The ROI, 25 grand. Not just from the photos, it's from the confidence work that we do as well, because so many people don't like having their photo taken, are scared to be in front of the camera, don't like how they look, like don't know what to wear, how to stand, where to go, anything like that. Like it's daunting, it's a scary thing. And I think a lot of people, a lot of photographers miss a trick by not getting to know the people that they're going to work with really well. So you can have as many video calls with me as you want in the lead up. Like there's been some people that we've had weekly video calls with to get their confidence up, work out exactly what they're going to do, and also build that relationship. They are slaying LinkedIn now, honestly. We went to an expo together and they were like, are you that woman on LinkedIn with those photos? And they were like, yeah. And this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, it really works. Because I don't shoot like I bring your personality out. It's not just personal brand photos. They're photos of you, your personality, and yeah, it's just different to everyone else, which is why I guess I could double my prices.
Yeah. And I think if they enjoy working with you and also, as you said, provide such a high ROI, it's likely that they will want to work with you later or even recommend you to someone else.
I've got people rebooking this year from last year.
And is there like a specific target customer that you work with, or is it pretty much anyone who wants to take photos?
So it is people who are it's people that are kind of at 5k months wanting to go to 10k months and beyond. So have got a already fairly established business, or at least they know who their ideal client is and what direction they want to go. I don't have a particular demographic, but it does seem to be more white women are booking me. No, I noticed this the other day. I was having a chat with Joe Major, who works in recruitment and does DEI. And I was like, my God, my website is so white. It's actually really bad. Like I'm actually disgusted at myself. And so we're gonna be having a conversation soon on LinkedIn about taking photos of people of color, because there are specific ways to do it to not make the skin look orange or blown out, and I can do that. So I need to let people know that I'm like a safe place, and I've got the skills and the talent to do that. So yeah, and I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. Oh, that white hero. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be like. I don't want to be that person.
Oh,
It's
I understand.
like, I just want to take good photos of people. Do you know what I mean? Though I don't want to be like that.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And before, you also mentioned that you do shoots on parties.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So this weekend, I do raver tots. Have you heard of raver tots?
I mean, I know what is the rave, but probably I don't know what it is.
Okay, so it's based. So I'm 44, nearly 45. Blimey. So like this guy Mike Pickett, he's a legend. He's a DJ and like used to go raving, but had kids, so couldn't really go raving anymore. So it's like I still want to go out and dance to music that I love. Let's take the kids. So Raver Tots is adults and children and babies and fun and balloons and streamers and sick DJs, and it's so good and it's so much fun and it's really well run and it's really professional. And honestly, we were at Ministry of Sound on Saturday. I was in Prism in Kingston on Sunday. It's just so much fun.
Okay, I wasn't expecting this.
It makes me so happy. Go and look on my post from yesterday. Go and look at yesterday's post. I put a video up.
Yeah. And so do you go there with to enjoy it with others, or do you go there to take pictures, or both?
I go there to take photos. So they hire me to take their photos to make the party look good, so that then people will buy the tickets for the next one.
So it's not like a regular party on Friday night.
No, it's amazing.
Okay, yeah. Sounds cool, yeah. I will have a look.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Can you tell us, I'm curious if you can tell us more about the actual process, how we work, because as we discussed, it's more than just taking pictures. So what is it in the background that is there, but maybe regular people like us don't know or don't realize?
So there's so much, right? So, I mean, it starts with your marketing and your social media and everything like that. So the business is a lot. There's a lot. So there's probably 100 hours a week goes into my business. And there's still loads to do. So
there's always more to do.
Yeah, always more to do. So, but when you book a shoot with me, so we'll have a free consultation call, and then we'll work out if we're the right people for each other, because I don't work with everybody. If we're not vibing, it's not going to work. So we work, and look, obviously I'm not everyone's vibe. I am Marmite. If you don't like me, we're definitely not going to work well together. So we'll have that first consultation call, work out kind of what you want the photos for, if you've got any ideas, and then book in as many video calls as you want. So we need to work out like what poses we're going to do. We get a mood board made, obviously. What location we're going to be at, what ideas we have, how are we going to do that, what concepts are we going to tell a story, is it going to be a journey, do you want each picture to tell a story on its own, are they going to be for website? There's so much stuff that we need to go in on, like wardrobe, branding, is it going to clash with each other, how are you going to, yeah, there's loads. So that's a lot of work to go in on that. Then we've got the confidence piece. So as I say, it could be, I could spend 10 hours with somebody just working on that, right? And if the day comes and you're not feeling it, we'll postpone it. I don't want you to do anything you're not comfortable with.
And when it comes to this confidence piece, is it basically you being a mentor or like a teacher to trying to increase their confidence, or what is it like?
It's been one of my clients said it's like going to therapy. I am not a therapist. I am not a therapist, but yeah. I think I used to work for a charity, and I had lots and lots of training on listening and talking and just helping people. And I did the coaching stuff. And I'm a great empath because that's the ADHD as well. And I am everybody's greatest cheerleader. Like, if it makes me happy watching people succeed, like, and if I've played a little part in that, like, that is like makes my heart happy. It's the best feeling in the world. So yeah. So if you're not feeling confident on the day or the day before, you're having a bit of a crap time, then we'll postpone it. I don't want anybody doing anything they're not comfortable with. Like, I'm here for my client to make them happy, to make their business grow, and to make them feel wonderful about themselves. And then when we're on the shoot, we can go anywhere. I've flown to Edinburgh, I've got Berlin, like all over the place.
Even international.
Yeah, I'm an international jet-setting businesswoman. Yeah, so on the shoot as well, I will guarantee that you don't just like your photos, but you will love the photos that I take of you. Like, when I take a photo, the first like few photos I take, I'll show the back of the camera and they will be like gobsmacked. And I don't know how I do it. I could just do it. And
Experience.
There you go. God, I'm just a magician.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I will put the photos on my laptop as we're going through the day, so you can see how great you look, and that gives you more confidence, and it gets more and more throughout the day, and it's just wonderful. And then there's the selection process, and then there's the editing process, and then there's the re-editing process and the re-editing process. I give 3
Never
rounds of
ending.
edits. Never ending. I give 3 rounds of edits, and people get their edits within 2 weeks of sending me their selections. So it's quite quick turnaround. And then you've got the social media after that as well. And they're my friends now. We're friends. We've got such great relationships with everybody. Someone said to me the other day, like, and when do you do a touch point after the shoot? Like, because so they could see if they maybe wanted to book in another one. I'm like, what do you mean? I talk to them every day.
Yeah,
literally,
I think it's the best
family.
if you develop relationships like this, and they are more than just like clients for the money, but something kind of deeper and like a friendship.
Yeah.
And I also liked when you mentioned before that you never know when the skills that you got before might be useful later on, because now, as you said, with the coaching that you studied before, you found it useful now. So
yeah,
it's
and I think I've got a really good little niche going on.
Yeah, and it sounds like you found great way how everything works, and it sounds like you've got a great process. So yeah, it's good.
Oh, I love everybody. Thank you. I'm so grateful.
And are you actually still looking for clients, or are you too busy with everything?
I'm always looking for clients. I actually started a new offer for keynote speakers recently. It's called Personal Paparazzi. So, so I'll go to your talk with you. I'll take photos of you before your talk, like getting ready, getting mic'd up, etc. And take photos of you during your entire talk. They're fantastic photos. You don't get any like weird mouth, like any weird expressions, and and then I'll follow you around afterwards while you're networking, taking photos of you talking to people. And it's really great for content, and you get 50 photos for that for £1,000. One place left for £1,000 before it goes up.
Then it will be £2,000, £3,000.
Oh no, I don't know yet. Not yet. £1,500. Yeah, I think that's fair.
What kind of advice would you share to people who want to be photographers like you?
I just go out and take photos. I don't know why I sounded northern then.
It's
Just go out and
like
take
practice
photos.
makes perfect.
Practice, like, not even that. Like, you've got your own style. Don't try and be like somebody else. Don't try and take photos like X, Y, and Z. Don't compare yourself to anybody, because art is subjective, and I don't think people would like my stuff, and they do, and it's completely different to somebody else's.
Mhm.
Like, there's people whose style is to over contrast and it doesn't look like it should work, but that's their style. So it's brilliant, be consistent, be a good person, go and have fun.
Yeah, and I think maybe when you mentioned have your own style, that is actually something to try to benefit from, to stand out, to be just different than the others.
Exactly. Same as being yourself, stand out against everybody trying to be the same.
Mm-hmm. And still, have you got someone as your source of inspiration? Maybe someone's style that you like?
David LaChapelle style, I love. He's a famous photographer.
I don't
He
know.
does.
I will Google it.
Yeah, have a look. David LaChapelle. He's done some amazing photos. My friend Mark DeGroot, he was amazing inspiration when I was learning. He helped me loads. And then, like, just the people in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody's like gives me like different little bits of just greatness, and it just makes me wonderful.
Mm-hmm. No, it sounds great, and
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm so lucky.
And with your rich career and plenty of projects that you've done, is there some kind of project specific, I don't know, let's say location or specific type of people or whatever that you still want to do, or kind of a
I've
dream
got
project?
loads of things that I want to do. I'm actually doing a shoot this Thursday for me. I haven't done a concept shoot just for me for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got load of women off LinkedIn. We're all going to meet over on London Bridge,
Oh,
and do a neon photo shoot. Like, just going to be super cool. So I've got like just a vision in my head of
and what
what,
is it going to be for?
just for fun.
Okay, yeah, why not?
Why not? Like, I'm
Mm,
doing all of these photos, which are fantastic, but it's for somebody else and it's their inspiration. I
mhm,
need to, like, I've got so many concepts in my head that I need to do that have been,
mhm.
I've got a little book of ideas that I'm just not doing. So
Yeah,
this was just a light-hearted one to get me started back on the road to doing photos that I want to do.
yeah, and I guess will be a great way how to promote your work as well.
Yeah, and they'll get photos from it and it's fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
sounds good. And I need to start ticking off the to-do list or bucket list of
Yeah,
things that you
definitely.
want to do. Yeah.
Yes.
And so when you just been aware of the time, do you want to say where people can follow you, see your work, or book your services?
So I show up most on LinkedIn. So find me on there, Wendy Gannon. But my website is www.whiskeyoscar0.co.uk. So that's woo with a zero. And all of my socials are woo photography. So WO0 photography, all one word. It's all the same everywhere, easy to find. Come and find me and, like, talk to me if you need any help with photography, your ADHD, if you want that, like, if you want that CV template. I've got your back. I've got you.
Hmm. Yeah, it's really nice the kind of way you give back to the community, your
Oh, I've had
positive
so much
spirit
help
and
myself. I
mental
could not,
attitude.
like, pass it on, pay it forward, and I think what you put out comes back anyway, right?
Hmm. Yeah. And before we finish, is there something that, I don't know, you want to share? Some kind of wisdom or anything I forgot to ask you?
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, that's a good one. I agree.
That's it. I was going to say the C word, but I thought I'd be good. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, that's the main takeaway from our
Yeah,
episode
and look,
today.
and if you are having a struggle, because God knows I've been there. It will work out in the end. Like, don't give up. Talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm. And I like, despite what you said, that you've been through the struggle, how positive you are. So there's definitely something that should inspire others.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been through some shit. Yeah, definitely. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh or you'll cry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope your following will increase after this, because I'm pretty sure that you deserve it.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind.
Yeah, so Wendy, I think we can finish it for today. It was a lovely chat, and I will be happy to catch up anytime in the future again, because I really enjoyed it.
You're a legend. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. It was my pleasure, and I will stay in touch with you.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app, get in touch to provide your feedback, or share any ideas for future guests. Thank you, and see you soon.